No question, our staff did a tremendous job. I thought we had the players ready to play. Um, and I think that a lot of that comes down to the ownership and the veteran players on the team. It's easy to maybe overlook an opponent. You're playing an FCS level team where Vegas has got you as a 40-plus point favorite and all that. So for our staff to get our players in the right frame of mind, for our veteran players to do that, for us to start fast, that was the challenge. Start fast, leave no doubt. I thought we did that. It's great when you can play all three phases, play really sound, and get the game under control and have an opportunity to play some of these players that we need to develop, we need to continue to develop, and then also a lot of players that maybe don't get an opportunity to play. That's probably the most gratification I've had in a long time as a coach was a lot of these guys that are on the look squads, they're on job takers, get an opportunity to play in front of their family, in front of their fans and their friends was a great experience, and I think you could see that our players were excited for them. So it was a good day, and we're very appreciative of the number of fans and students in the community that came out. I thought it was an exceptional atmosphere. It gets better. That's the second home game. It was even better this week, and we hope that that continues to improve. And certainly we're going to do our best to represent the community and put a good product on the field going forward. So we've got a heck of a challenge in front of us this week. We play really good Ohio football program that is well coached. They've got a great blueprint. They've played winning, consistent football. Coach Solich has done a great job of creating stability there as he's built that program. You know, they're undefeated at home last year. This is a hard place to play, and it will challenge all the intangibles that we've worked hard to build in the offseason. So we're going to have to play our best game of the season and continue to make improvement going forward. But we look forward to the challenge and are excited about playing a really good team.
I know this is your first true road game, but the things that are become a challenge of playing on the road, did you really get that in the trip to New Orleans, or are there more challenges different here this weekend that y'all have to address that you didn't against Mississippi State?
Well, playing on the road is difficult. I think it's a change of scenery, certainly if you haven't been there before in the past. The New Orleans trip was a bus trip. This will be a plane trip. We'll play earlier in the day. I think that, the most important thing is it's going to come down to fundamentals. It's going to come down to how well we execute the plan that we installed this week. And that's where we're going to focus. Preparation, certainly the self-discipline to be ready mentally and physically this week. That's what's going to create confidence in how well we understand what we're trying to do and how we execute that and what type of fundamentals that we play with. That's the thing that I want to make sure that we do throughout the week this week.
His concern with the Ohio quarterback?
Well, I think he's very smart. He's very efficient. Certainly well respected, even nationally. And he's a mobile guy. He took an 80-yarder to the house against Marshall this past week. I think he had a 70-yard run against Pitt. So this is a guy who is a dual threat and does a lot for their offense. He gets them in the right play. Certainly a very accurate passer, makes good decisions, takes care of the ball, and he can take off and run on you. So it starts with him to go along with that veteran offensive line, big physical offensive line that they have. He is a challenge for sure, and certainly something that we're going to have to work hard on this week.
Does it concern you more if he has to do more because of what their running back issues are, or
Well, that they've had a rash of injuries at running back, but they've got tons of proven players, and I think anticipate getting some of those guys back this week. So the combination of all of it is really what it comes down to. I think the quarterback distributes the ball well. He makes really good decisions, takes what the defense gives him. Certainly a great challenge for us, and we look forward to that.
Do you feel like from what you've learned so far through 3 games that you could play keep away and win a game on the road or get in a shootout, that y'all are capable of doing both right now, or is it important that y'all play a little keeper?
I think that our defense is improving. You know, I think that's the biggest thing that we've learned is that we have made fundamental improvements. I think we're doing a good job mixing it up schematically as well. We're covering better. We're fitting runs better. But this will be as good of a challenge as we've had here. You know, this is a really good offensive line and a really good quarterback. And typically, those are the things that can give you issues. When a quarterback knows what he's doing and when they've got an offensive line that can get the ball to the second level. So we've adapted, like last year, for example, we adapted how we played offense based off of where we were at defensively as a team. As you can see, as we get more and more stops, as we're getting off the field on third down, you know, we're able to play with more tempo. We're able to take advantage of maybe ramping up the play count a little bit. Depth helps you do that, you know, and certainly getting off the field on third down helps you do that. So we're playing better as a team right now, but it's still early. You know, I mean, you continue to evolve. You continue to adjust. You play with the players that are available each week. Every matchup's a little bit different, so probably not smart for me to talk about that weekly, but certainly I feel like we can hang in there and play accordingly to how the game's going for sure.
Did anybody who got extra time on Saturday maybe, you know, win more time or maybe win a spot on the travel roster that wouldn't have?
Sure. Well, you know, guys took a step forward. Andre Jones was voted Player of the Week, on one of the Players of the Week on defense. You know, I think you see that Kendall Wilkerson is a defensive lineman that is emerging. I think a number of the young corners played good in the game. A.J. Washington. You know, I think that you see that some of those young receivers like Brian Smith Jr. and Peter LeBlanc are taking steps forward. You know, it was great to get Ave an opportunity to play, certainly able to play Clifton, able to play Chandler. You know, we played a lot of players that I think all that experience is going to benefit the team and them as individual players going forward.
Is the wide receiver rotation the one that you may have the most questions about going forward as of after 3 games, or is there another position where the rotation still isn't quite?
Well, it's the one position where we've had a couple, what I would consider starters get nicked, you know, banged up. Nothing significant, but maybe missed some time because of injuries. Outside of that, I think that's the reason that those lineups have changed is because we've had some guys banged up. So that's created opportunities for players like Peter LeBlanc to step in there and play, and he's done a great job for us. So I think as we get healthy there, that thing will, you know, there'll be more stability there. But we've got several playmakers in that group. Bam's versatility, Jamarcus's versatility. Jalen Williams has been really steady. You know, I think, and Peter's stepped up for. So we got good players in that room and certainly feel good about those guys as we get healthy here in the next couple of weeks.
The Sun Belt has always made a big issue of doing well against the peer conferences. Is that something that y'all even think about, or is it
well, I think
in your mind,
yeah, I think it's important for our league. You know, I think it's something that you quality control at the end of the year. You know, I think certainly Carl Benson, as he engineered kind of a little bit of a plan for improvement for the Sun Belt, that was an emphasis, and I respect that. It's always something you compare. Certainly in recruiting, it becomes a big deal sometimes. So I think you can see that the Sun Belt is steadily improving. The quality of coaches, the quality of recruits, the head-to-head matchups with the other Group of 5 conferences, the success against Power 5 teams. You know, I think that trend has continued even this year. So this league is getting better, and I think it's in prime position with the stability that we have. You know, 5 teams in each division, the championship game. It's in position with the recruiting footprint. There's lots of reasons for the Sun Belt to be excited about the momentum that we have as a league.
Are the 2 freshman quarterbacks kind of even, or Kyle have a leg up because he's here for the spring? and
Yeah.
Fields wasn't, or?
No, I think that, we've got tremendous competition at quarterback. 2, 3, 4. All those guys had an opportunity to play. Ave was a little bit ahead of Cliff, coming out of spring. And then, we observed those guys in training camp. But we've decided because Ave doesn't have a red shirt that he's the backup, and certainly have confidence in all the young players. We've added 4 rookie quarterbacks to our roster. Levi's the only veteran. So I think as we go forward, there'll continue to be tremendous competition with that group of players to see who will emerge as time goes. But right now, Ave is the backup.
Coach, how's the special teams been looking to you? Because I talked to Chris Lano and Chris Gannon, and they've seen, like, what they've seen is that the punt return specifically looked like they're ready to really break one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the same thing on your special team?
Well, punt return is an area of our team where we weren't up to par last year. It felt like it was an area where we needed to improve. I do think that Eric Guerrer has done a nice job of fielding punts. He did have one Saturday where we lost kind of 13 yards of hidden yardage, if that makes sense, on the one that he let hit the ground. But he's done a nice job, and I think that the veteran players that we have returning have done a great job. I think Coach Powledge is exceptional. He takes tremendous pride in his job, and we've worked really hard. We call them game changers, and we're always looking for that one play that can change the game, if not 2 or 3 or 4. And certainly we feel like we've made improvement in the punt return game, and we've actually had 2 big returns called back to go along with a couple 10, 12, 15, 20-yard returns so far. So it is an area where we've improved. And I think in the second half of the season last year, we played good on special teams. We need to continue to try to win that phase. That's the goal every week, is to win that phase of the game. And I think we've got a lot of players who that's their main role on the team. And they take tremendous pride in that. So we need to continue to get better and better execution out of our specialists. And we need to create big plays and momentum in the game on game changers.
Sticking with that, your kickoff team, Amadeus in the touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
how big of a weapon that can be
Yep.
for your defense.
Well, Kenny's done a great job outside of one kick this year. He's placed the ball well. Certainly good hang time, good depth into the end zone. We tackled a number of teams inside the 20-yard line this year. And then you see as the game goes that they concede and fair catch the ball. So the most important concept on the cover team is speed. I think our guys have done a great job of reading indicators. We've got a really good tool set that we've developed from a fundamental perspective. We've got good team speed. So there's a number of veteran players on that team that really set the tone. Ashton Johnson, Jordan Quibido, Percy Butler's been exceptional on that team. T.J. Wisham has stepped into a role there. So we've got guys that have tremendous pride in their job, and I think we've executed our plan. But Kenny has made an impact, as a specialist. He's placing the ball with great hang time, great depth, and that's allowed our cover team to take advantage of that.
Does Wisham show you in practice regularly what he showed in the second half, and might you somehow find other ways to utilize him in addition to special teams?
Sure.
Because of that?
Well, TJ earned the respect of his teammates and the staff last year when he was the scout team running back. He was ineligible because of the transfer. Just came to work every day. Tremendous attitude. One of the more respected players on our team amongst his peers, and certainly amongst our staff. He's a 4-core game changer guy, and you can see that in the future he'll have an opportunity to impact the game as a running back. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. For those guys to get opportunities to compete and show what they can do, the Chris Smiths of the world, the T.J. Wishams, even Ashton Johnson, he's a good runner as well. So I've told you guys a number of times, if we had to play our 4th, 5th, and 6th running back one week this year, we'd be just fine. And I think you got a little bit of a taste of that Saturday.
Their defense, what concerns you, and how would you compare and kind of contrast their strengths to the Liberty and Mississippi State defense?
Well, I think it's a completely different week, different personnel, different schematics. They're a 4-3 structure. certainly do a really good job with their fundamentals. I think the big thing that I see is a group that understands how they work well together, where they fit, their piece of the puzzle. I think they play really good team defense. They tackle well. They've got enough variables that they can create issues. They pressure, do a good job disguising their pressure. I think it's a great concept. They've been running the same concept for a number of years. The coordinator that is calling the defense this year for the first time has been on the staff for 8 years. So he's got a good understanding of what they've had success doing in the past. And he's continued that. They played really well so far this year. They played some good teams. Pitt is a good team. Marshall's a good team. And certainly Rhode Island had a handful of players that can create problems for you.
Very minor thing. McCaskill didn't seem to play a lot. Was that just for getting hit and other guys, or was there anything else going on with him?
No, McCaskill played in the first half of the game, and then other players played after that.